Hey, welcome back. We're going to pop a cork today. Hope you're ready because I have another bourbon review coming. Listen, I've had this in the past. This is a new bottle. Just broke the seal on it a little bit ago, but I popped the cork once, but we're going to pop it again. I didn't drink any out of it. I haven't had it in a while, but I do remember it was really good. So let's get right into it. All right, we have Michters. So this is a Michters small batch, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey right here. Batch number 20B123 Michters is, I'm trying to find the alcohol on this. Oh, there it is, 45.7%, so a lower proof, 91.4, right around that typical 45 range. I know when I popped this one, it had a really good cork pop to it. So let's see if it does it again. It feels like it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's in there pretty tight. Ooh, that is a sweet, sweet smelling bourbon right there. So let's go ahead and pour you a little bit. And as always, you can look down and see that. If you don't have a VR visor, you can scroll down, see the color on that. If you want, but I'm going to pour me some here. And again, I don't like to pour a lot in these tastings. I like it to be able to get some air in it. And we don't want any alcohol abuse, so I always try to get the little drips. Put the cork back in this sucker. Oh yeah, that's good and sweet. Oh, legs for days. I can already see it. Love this. It has the good thick ring. Get a little air in this. Creates a good ring around there, and it has good thick trails coming down. I call them wash trails coming down. It's not thin at all. There's some up here on the shelf that are thinner. They'll run down quick and they'll have real thin little beads that come down, but this has a good slow run down from that ring. So I'm expecting a good tongue coating, good oils in it. Yeah, it's clinging really, really well. Let's get the nose off this thing. Oh, right away. Caramel, vanilla, your typical bourbon notes, but a little apple. Getting some of those oaky notes in there as well. This one, compared to some, might come across a little younger, but man, the complexity is still there, and the good mouthfeel is there, I remember. But I'm not going to let my memory cloud my judgment on this one. We're going to try this batch right here. That is a really, really good nose on that. This is a good bourbon. Just like if you want to say, oh, you've never tried bourbon? Well, here, I have Michters small batch. That's quintessential. It's one of the ones I would go to for that. Eagle Rare is another one. There's several, but low rye, and that's from memory. I don't know the mash bill on it. Like I said, I try not to do too much research on these. I try to bring you a good, straight, honest review from what's happening on nose, palate, and that's it. And I guess eyeballs, because I talk about the legs on it, but let's give her a taste. I don't like to give too many notes off that first drink, but I can tell you with Michters, it is so laid back. It is such a laid back bourbon, so soft on the palate, but a lot of notes come through. It's a little bit sweeter. I can tell there's probably a good amount of wheat and corn in the mash. But I know Michters makes all kinds of ryes and other things, but this small batch bourbon is really, really tasty. One of my favorites. Can drink it like candy. It's got the apple is there. caramels. It doesn't go too dark with you. It's not really, there's some leather. There's hints of leather and maybe some tobacco in there, but not the spicy stuff like you would get. It's just a really gentle, smooth, sweet bourbon. And I really, really enjoy it. It is good follow on it. Good finish. It does give you, if you drink it a little heavy sip, it will give you a good hug. I'm getting a little warmth there in the top of the stomach, but not like cask strengths. Again, like if you take a bigger mouthful or something, yeah, sure, it'll hug you a little bit. One thing I have found out about drinking this bourbon is it doesn't drink hot at all. I'm talking none. I can take larger swallows off this bourbon in a very comfortable way, more in line with, I would take smaller sips off of maybe a higher proof, but to get the same sensation. But I like the fact that I can go ahead and hammer a few swallows of this down. Just do it in moderation. How many snifters I'm going to have of it, but I'm definitely having mine and yours too. I can tell you that. From a sweet standpoint, the wildflower sweetness comes out, but man, that caramel too, it doesn't quite get into molasses. I don't think it drinks that dark for me, but I do get a good tongue coating and I get some of those wood notes on the sides. If you haven't watched the video on the how to build a nosing kit, watch that one for how to draw your mind to those wood notes and things like that. I think that's a good one. The other one is a bourbon wheel. I did a video on that one. So if you're just getting into tasting bourbons or whiskeys, that's a good place to start. Another one's called My Bourbon Journey or something like that. I forget the exact name of it, but I talk about the differences between the dry and sweet and rye and wheat, and that rhymes, and I didn't mean to, but hey, go for it. But this is definitely one of the easier drinking bourbons here in Michters small batch. You can't really go wrong with it. You know what? Now that I'm bragging on it so much, I'm going to pull the Eagle Rare down because I want to know side by side which one of these is truly, I've had this one a little bit. Now I've given my notes on it, and I know cross-contamination and stuff like that, but I know Eagle Rare is a super fine bourbon. And either one of these, I think, would make a really good gift if your boss or your dad or someone is a bourbon drinker. Either one of these would be a fantastic gift. Let's look at the color. They're very, very similar on color. I think Eagle Rare. Yep. Man, a little softer on the nose, Eagle Rare is. Still similar notes. I'm getting the vanilla and the caramels. This one's a little brighter, I think, on the nose. This one's actually a little darker, a little softer, but let's give her a taste. Same thing. Took a good slug of it. This one, you're getting into a darker notes, but my gosh, they're similar. Except for, I think this one tastes, you're getting a little more into the darker woods, a little more into the molasses past the caramel. Maybe some more dried fruits in it, where this one has more of the fresh fruity sensation, but I'm going to try this one again. Man, they're both fantastic. And I've had a hard week so far. I know it's only day 2 of it, but still, it's a tough week. But I'm having some bourbon. Man. Both of these are fantastic. This one, gosh, if I had to pick a favorite, I don't know. I really don't. With a cigar, let's talk about that. With a cigar, man, I think I would gravitate more toward Eagle Rare. It gives me a different finish, a different, follow. And I'm getting more of those darker notes back here in the back of the throat that linger. This one has a really good finish on it, don't get me wrong. And the legs on both of these are strong. Both of them are fantastic. Both of these are fantastic. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I have a little bourbon to drink here. But I can't wait to knock this down and add it to my infinity bottle. I think it's going to do a lot for that. If you haven't watched that one, go back and watch my infinity bottle video. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. As always, please like and subscribe and hit that bell down there for notifications. And I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.